The Lector. The original audiobook, but in person, with a side of workplace drama. Long before podcasts and Spotify playlists saved us from workplace boredom, there was the Lector, a noble figure perched high on a platform, reading aloud to factory workers to distract them from the soul-crushing monotony of their jobs. Imagine being an industrial-era DJ, except instead of playing bangers, you're reading War and Peace to people trying not to lose a finger in a cigar-rolling machine. Glamorous, right? Key responsibilities. Master storyteller. Your job was to read aloud with enough drama and flair to keep workers entertained while they performed mind-numbing tasks. But no pressure. If you weren't captivating, your audience could, and would, revolt by throwing things at you. Spoiler. It wasn't roses. Workplace gossip distributor. Sure, you read novels, newspapers, and political manifestos, but let's be real, the juiciest content was whatever scandalous gossip you could sneak in between chapters. And in today's Daily Times, Mr. Gonzalez from Table 3 is allegedly dating 2 women. Back to Don Quixote. Keeping up with requests. You weren't just reading classics. Oh no, you were at the mercy of your audience's eclectic tastes. One day it was Dickens, the next it was steamy romance novels. If the foreman walked by, you'd seamlessly transition from, he pulled her into his strong arms, to, and then the government discussed tariffs, crowd management. Factory workers could be tough critics. Didn't like your pacing? You'd hear about it. Mispronounce a word? Here comes the peanut gallery. Fall asleep mid-sentence? Someone's definitely flicking a cigar butt your way. It was a high-stakes performance art, and only the thick-skinned survived. Tools of the trade. A platform. You'd sit elevated like a king, or a human megaphone, so everyone could see and hear you. The downside? Everyone could also see you pick at your nose. Your voice, the original surround sound system, had to be loud enough to compete with machinery and dramatic enough to keep people awake. A stack of books, newspapers. You carried everything from Les Miserables to the local gossip rag, ready to pivot depending on the mood of the crowd or the political leanings of the cigar-rolling foreman. Workplace hazards. Monotony overload. Imagine reading aloud for hours while people barely glance up. A true blow to your ego. Overwhelming requests. Hey, can you read that spicy romance novel next? No. Read the newspaper, I want to hear poetry? Your job wasn't to entertain, it was to mediate a literary brawl. Unsolicited, audience feedback worker. Hey, you skipped a page. Lector. No, I didn't. Worker. Yeah, you did. I'm following along in my head. Lector. Size and existential crisis qualifications. A booming voice capable of cutting through the clatter of machinery and the sound of Diego snoring in the back row. The ability to read for hours without losing your place or your sanity. A flair for the dramatic. If you couldn't make Moby Dick exciting, what were you even doing? Patience for interruptions like, can you explain what a whale oil lamp is? Perks of the job. You got to sit down all day while everyone else worked. That alone made you the factory VIP. You had access to the latest books and news, making you the most cultured person in the building. Why the job no longer exists? Sadly, the Lector was replaced by modern distractions like music, audiobooks, and that one coworker who never stops talking about their weekend. While the job is long gone, the legacy of the Lector lives on in every workplace where someone talks just a little too loudly in the break room. Sure, you don't need to dodge flying tomatoes or dramatically narrate the Count of Monte Cristo, but you have to admit, there was something magical about being the original Netflix binge, live, in front of a very judgmental audience.